Hello students. So in the previous class we have started with a new chapter and that is fun with magnet. In this chapter we understand the term that is magnet. What is a magnet, student? Magnet is a substance which is having the power to attract any other object towards itself. Okay, so we have seen a lot of a material which are having this property of attracting the other object towards itself, and for that object we had given the name to it, and that is magnet. When we talk about the magnet, student, we also came to know that this magnet, how does it get discovered? So basically a shepherd was there and his name was Magnus. He came to know about that there is some substance, or there is that rock on which he was sitting. He found that that rock is having the power of attracting the iron substances towards itself, and from that a story or from that discovery you can say that magnet comes to point of view, or it comes to the field of research, or we understand that there are some material which is having this power of attracting the object towards itself. Okay. Natural magnet is what, student? We discussed that the natural magnet is a magnetite, or we use the term for it that is known as lodestone. Okay. So lodestone is what? It is a natural magnet. So either we called it is a lodestone or magnetite. So natural magnet is a lodestone or a magnetite. Now when we talk about the magnet, we had also discussed the types of the magnet, students. Right? So types of the magnet, it means okay. We know that the magnet is having the property of attracting the thing toward itself. But there are a lot of a magnet present in the surrounding, and that can be of a different sizes, that can be of a different shape, and according to that we had divided them into the different types of a magnet. So we studied that in type of a magnet there is a horseshoe magnet, horseshoe shape, that's why the name given as a horseshoe magnet. If the shape of the magnet is U-shape, so we had given the name to that particular type of a magnet as a U-shape magnet. If it is a small circular one, then we had given the name as a button shape or the circular magnet. So button shape magnet is also there. Okay. Or if it is a ring-like, then we had given the name that is a ring-shape magnet. If a rod-shaped magnet is there, students, so button, we came to know about button. So a rod shape is also known as that of the bar magnet. Okay. If a cylindrical shaped magnet is there, then we use the term for it that is cylindrical magnet. So by this you have understood the name that we had given to different magnet. It totally depends upon their shape. Shape is horseshoe, name is horseshoe magnet. Shape is U. Name is U-shaped magnet. Shape is a ring-like, then ring magnet. Shape is a rod shape, then is a bar magnet. Okay, or shape is a cylindrical one, then we use the term for that is cylindrical magnet. Later on, we also discussed that there are material, students. The materials, they are having some property. That property is that some of the material they use to attract the things towards itself, and that property make it as a magnetic property. Okay, it means if a substance is there which can show the property of a magnet, that kind of a material, that kind of a object or a substance is known as a magnetic material or a magnetic substance. So magnetic material is what? Which shows the property, or which is having almost the power of attracting the object towards itself. That is a magnetic. Name by name only you can understand. If it is a magnet, it means these material having the property of magnet. Magnet is having the property of attracting the things. So magnetic material property is attracting the object towards itself. So what are the object which is basically we call as a magnetic material? all the substances, all the object, all the things which is made up of iron, steel, nickel, cobalt. These are what, student? These are metal. Okay, don't get confused and don't try to understand all these things that what is this, what is this. Simply you will understand these are some metals. And these metals, they are having the property, or the material which is made up of these metals, they shows the attraction towards the magnet. It means, if suppose you had taken an iron rod, student, if this is made up of iron, suppose that if it is made up of iron, we take a magnet here. If we try to keep this iron object and that of the magnet very close to each other, then they will attract each other and finally get stick to each other. Okay, so this material is having the property by which it get attracted towards the magnet. That is why this is known as a magnetic material. So they shows the attraction towards the magnet. That is a magnetic material. If a spoon is there made up of a steel, if you take a magnet and keep it or try to keep it close to that of the steel spoon, then what will happen? The spoon will get attracted towards that of the magnet. If a nickel or a cobalt is there, or nickel coin is there, then what will happen? If suppose you will take that nickel coin and try to keep it close to that of the magnet, again it will get attracted towards the magnet. So magnetic material is what? Which get attracted towards the magnet. That is a magnetic material. Just opposite to that of the magnetic material is the non-magnetic material. So if we talk about the non-magnetic material, so it is just opposite. It means the materials which do not show attraction towards the magnet, that is a magnetic material. Like all the things which is not made up of a nickel, iron, cobalt, steel, that we consider them as a magnetic material. So, non-magnetic material. Sorry, students. Okay. So, magnetic material was what? The materials basically made up of iron, nickel, cobalt and steel. They attracted towards that of the magnet. We call them as a magnetic material. The material except that of the nickel, cobalt, iron and steel is a non-magnetic material. So, what kind of a material will come in that of a non-magnetic material? Wood, plastic, okay, any of the things which is copper, aluminium, okay. So you see all the things, any fabric is there. Okay, fabric such as wool or jute is there, so all these things. So basically if you see all these things, whether it is a wood, it is a plastic, copper, aluminium, when you keep it close to that of the magnet, it will not going to attract towards the magnet, which shows that it does not having or it does not show the attraction towards the magnet, thus making it as a non-magnetic material. Okay, student? So now you are able to understand the magnetic and non-magnetic material. Now, if you see that what is the role of a magnet? How can you say that these objects are actually the magnetic material, these objects are a non-magnetic material? You can understand with the help of a lot of examples. Like suppose in a place or in a container or anywhere at a floor only, a lot of pins are there, a lot of a safety pin, they falls down and you want to pick each and every safety pin. What will be the easy method? You will say, madam, we will do the hand picking and after that we can easily get all the safety pins. Is it so? No. It will take some time. Maybe you are this much able to take all the pins, paper pin or the safety pin, whatever it is, that you can collect all the pins by your hand, by picking your hand. Okay. But the very easy method that we can use, that we will take a magnet. If suppose we take a magnet and we take the magnet and try to rotate it to the different direction where the pin gets scattered, then what will happen? The pin starts getting attracted towards the magnet, and finally it will get attracted, it will get stick on the magnet, and by this you can find all the pin which gets scattered on the floor. So you see here student, now the use of the magnet, we are applying the magnet in a different fields, okay. So we are using this magnet to collecting the magnetic material which gets scattered in the floor, scattered on that of the floor, okay. Any other example is there? Yes, wood shaving. What is wood shaving? So you have seen the carpenter when they start making any of the material which is which is basically of a wood only. So he used to give shape to that of the that wooden material. Okay, and while doing so, you will see a lot of small woods. It starts coming out through it. Okay, that we call as a residue only. Okay, that is the left wood. The small woods are there, and that is the left wood which is basically comes out while finishing that of the wooden object by that of the carpenter. So you see student, in the wood shaving, or you will see the in the wood shaving, the carpenter by mistake he will leave the nails or screw or any other iron object. Okay, so nails are there, screw is there, iron objects are there, and it is very useful for that of the carpenter. He want to use this nail, he want to use this screw for the purpose for making the different object of the wood. So how he will separate that nail or the screw from that of the wood shaving, from the residue of the wood? So in that wood shaving student, where the nails and the screws get distributed, get hidden inside that of the small pieces of the wood. So then how the carpenter he will extract that, or he will get that the nails and the screw? Simply by using a magnet. When he will take the magnet and he will use that magnet in the wood shaving, then what will happen? This nail, this screw, they are the magnetic material. Okay, so both of them are actually these are the magnetic materials. So when magnet will come close to these of the nail and screw, they will get attracted towards the magnet, they will get stick on the magnet, and finally we can separate these nails and screw from that of the wood shaving. Okay students? Now we will take another example to explain that of the magnetic and non-magnetic as well. Another example that we can take to explain the magnetic and the non-magnetic material student, that the sharpener. So in this sharpener, what you will see student? You will see and a steel is there or a metal thing is there, and the outer covering of this sharpener is actually made up of a plastic. So this portion, this middle portion that you can see is basically made up of a iron. Okay. So when you take the magnet very close to this iron substance which is present in the sharpener, what will happen? This iron substance will try to attract or try to get attracted towards that of the magnet. So in case of a sharpener students, consisting of a two things, and iron pin is there, iron substance is there, iron nail is also present, as well as plastic covering is there. Okay, so iron nail or plastic covering. Both the things are there student. So if this one, if you take the magnet very close to this plastic surface, what will happen? This plastic one, the cover of the sharpener made up of a plastic, it is a non-magnetic material. It means it will not going to attract towards the magnet. Okay, but the middle portion that is made up of iron is a magnetic material, so it will going to attract. So simultaneously, one thing is there which is not attracted towards the magnet, and one thing is there which is attracted towards the magnet. So by this you have understood that the material which is attracted towards the magnet is a magnetic material, and the material which do not attracted towards that of the magnet is known as the non-magnetic material. Now these magnetic material can be separated by the help of the magnet in a various purpose. We can use it in the various things for separation of the of these magnetic material. So we have seen that if in a dump is there and iron object is present in it, so by the process, by the help of the large magnet, we can separate all the iron object from it, and thus we can separate it that of the harmful substance by the help of the magnet. So it help, we can say that magnet it help in the separating the iron object. So we have discussed that this magnet is also helpful in separating the magnetic material only. Okay, if a non-magnetic material is there, it will not attract it and hence it will not get separated. Now suppose student, a heap of magnetic material is there, or a iron filling is there, or an iron object, iron small pieces of an iron is present there. It gets scattered on the floor. How will you separate it? How will you take that iron filling or the iron small pieces from that of the floor? Then you will use a magnet. Suppose this magnet is a bar magnet, student. Okay, rod shaped magnet or a bar magnet. In a book you will say that there is a partition and this color will be from the red, this color will be from the blue, and this will be having one is written here N, one is written here S. I'll explain you why is it so. But till that, understand that we have taken a bar magnet. Okay, iron filling is scattered on the ground and we have taken a bar magnet, and with the help of that bar magnet we will try to separate all the iron filling, or iron filling, it means the small powdered form of a iron is there. Okay, small pieces or a powdered form of a iron, that is the iron filling. So that powdered iron is separated by the using of a bar magnet. When you see the arrangement, student, what did you find? You will see that all the iron, a powdered iron, it gets stick to that of the bar magnet, but most of the So you see here, student, what I want to try to show you, these all are what? These are the iron powder or powdered iron, iron feeling. So powdered iron. Okay, this one also, this one also. So you have seen what we were doing, that where the powdered iron is iron small pieces was scattered on the ground, and we were trying to take that powdered iron with the help of a magnet. Then you know that they will get attracted towards the magnet and stick on the magnet. But one thing what you will notice, that most of the iron particles, they will stick or they will stick to the free end of this bar magnet. Okay, or we can say to the end of this bar magnet. Okay, so most of the time, it doesn't mean that it will not going to stick here, but most of them will stick to that of the end of the bar magnet. Okay, what does that indicate, student? It means the power of attracting the particles towards itself at the end of the bar magnet is more, comparatively more. Okay, because the strength is more, it will attract the particles towards itself very strongly, right? So if this portion is having a less force of attraction, it is having a less attracting power to attract the iron particles towards itself rather than that of the free end, then we can say that this both of them are having a very good strength of attracting the object towards itself. Thus, we can say they are having the good magnetic power, or the magnetic strength is more at the end of the bar magnet rather than at the middle of the bar magnet. Okay, so most of the particles, they get attracted, they get stick at the end of the bar magnet. And these two end, student, we use the term for it, and that we call as a poles. Okay, so these two are what? These two are the end. Okay, so most of the iron particles, iron small powdered particles or a small particles of the iron, it get stick on this end of the this one and this one end of that of the bar magnet, and this end of the magnet we use the term for it, that is pole. Okay, so pole is what? It is the free end. Okay, both of them are what? Free. Okay, so we will say that pole is the free end of the magnet. Free end of the magnet is pole. Now if you see, student, in a magnet, how many poles are there? Let me write it again. Poles are what? The free ends of the magnet is the pole of the magnet. Now, how many poles are there in a bar magnet, student? Now, how many poles are there, students? So, we discussed that in a bar magnet, one pole is here and another pole is here. So, basically, there are two poles are exist together in a bar magnet. Not only in a bar magnet, but in a magnet only. So, in a magnet, these two poles, they always exist together. Okay. Now, what are these two poles? We called it, student. I will draw the diagram here itself so that you will not get confused. N here and S here. Okay. So, these two poles is we represent as a, we called it as a north pole and the south pole. So, the two poles are north pole and the south pole. Okay, north pole is there and south pole is there. North pole we represented by capital N, south pole we represented by capital S. So we can write that north pole represented by capital N and south pole represented by capital S. Okay, students. So, two free ends are there. These free ends known as the poles of the magnet. Pole of the magnet is the two poles of a magnet is there in a bar magnet, and these two poles so these two poles are the north pole and south pole. North pole we represented by N, south pole we represented by S. You have seen in that horseshoe magnet also, student. If suppose we make a horseshoe magnet, in a horseshoe magnet or in a U magnet, here there also you will find one is N and another is S. So always a magnet is having two poles, that is north pole and south pole, and they always exist simultaneously together. We can say that they can exist together. Always they are there in a magnet. Okay, we represent it by N and that of the S. Now we will see, student, that how these poles they exist together. Whether it is a big magnet or it is a small magnet really doesn't matter. North pole and south pole will always remain there. How, student? If suppose you have taken a big magnet. Now this big magnet is a bar magnet and this bar magnet is having a pole that is north and south pole. Okay. Now what you have done? You just break it from the middle of this magnet. When you break it from the middle, then what you will see? Then you will see there is a two pieces of the magnet will remain, and these two pieces is this one. Now again in these two pieces there is one north pole and one south pole in one of the piece, and in the other piece again there is a north pole and the south pole in the second piece. What does that mean, student? That we have taken a big bar magnet, and when we break it into two pieces, in each of the pieces one north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole will always remain there. Now you see that again we break this north pole and this north pole, south pole, which means this magnet and this magnet, into two. Then you will see it will get divided into two. This one will also get divided into two. Then there is a formation of 4 bar magnet, and these 4 magnets will also get a north pole, a south pole, a north pole, a south pole, a north pole, south pole, south pole. Okay. Now again you will divide it into 2. Again you will break it. What will happen? You will get a small pieces of a magnet. In this pieces also you will get a north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole. What does that mean, students? That whether it is a big magnet or is a small piece of the magnet, these two poles will always exist there. Means north pole and south pole will always remain there in the magnet. Now let me tell you one thing, that is these two poles are opposite to each other. Okay, so they are opposite to each other, means one is the north pole, they are the two different ends, and that's why you can say they are opposite to each other. Now if suppose you have taken a magnet, one magnet, a magnet is there, this magnet is having this pole as the north pole, this pole as the south pole. Now you have taken another magnet, and in this magnet you are knowing that this one is the south pole and this one is the north pole. Remember that. We had taken one magnet and the other one magnet having north and south pole like that, and the other magnet where the south pole is close to the south pole of the other magnet. You can see here, student, this is the first bar magnet, this is the second bar magnet. This magnet is having the north and south pole, and the second magnet, you can see this south pole is face towards that of the south pole of the other magnet, right? So the south pole are facing each other, okay, are close to each other. So these two poles, what we call such kind of a pole, student, these are the like poles. Why? They are alike to each other. They are almost the same pole. Okay, so they are same pole, so they are like each other, and if they are like each other, so we can call the name is as a like pole, right? Now again, if we take a one magnet here, this is the north pole, this is the south pole. Then again we have taken another magnet, this is the north pole, this is the south pole. This is the first magnet, this is the second magnet. So you see here, student, in this magnet, these two are facing towards each other because these two are very they are very far away from each other. Na? This north pole is far away from this south pole. Which one is closer to each other? This south pole and this north pole, right? So, we can say that this is the south pole and this is the north pole, and these two poles are not like to each other. They are different from each other. One is north pole and another is south pole. So they are different from each other. So we will use a term for such kind of a poles is unlike poles. So in this case, these are like poles. In this case, it is unlike poles. Okay, so like poles are where the south or one more case can occur. That is if this is the north, this is the south, and this one is north, this one is south. So here you also see south pole and south pole are far away from each other. But this north pole and this north pole both are close to each other. So such kind of a pole is known as a like pole. So in both of the cases, this we called as a like poles. They are facing towards each other. North pole, like pole, south pole, like pole. North pole, south pole, unlike pole, or south pole, north pole, unlike poles. Okay, so if it is a facing to that of the same pole, like if it is facing to the opposite one, that is unlike forces. Now in the next class we will discuss that what will happen if suppose we will take two like poles together, or we will take take the magnet which is having the like poles. If this is the north pole, this one is also north pole, and we will take these both of them close to each other. What will happen, and what will happen when we take a north pole and south pole close to each other?